All right. Thank you for tuning in. Are we up? We ready? All right. So I am your host, Queenie Green, and today we are here at Sour Patch Media. We want to give a shout out to our host for the night, our sponsors for today's show, Sour Patch Media. You can check us out every Thursday from this point on, broadcasting live from Sour Patch Media. And today, this is the Windy City Review with my co-host, Paul Collins.
Hey, everyone.
And y'all already know who's sitting next to me.
If you don't, you better find out.
All right, so we have Tyrone Muhammad in today, and we're going to do a recap on what we've been talking about. And we want, on another platform, we want everybody else to know, what is ECCSC? What do you stand for? What's going on with that? What are you building? What are you working on? What can we look forward to? And introduce you to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me, Paul. Nice to meet you for the face-to-face for the first time. Of course, y'all know Queen. Listen, my name is Tyrone Muhammad, and I'm the executive director of ECCSC. That's Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change. And for those who know me and those who are new to seeing me or just their first time seeing me, I served 21 years in prison. And looking at the blight, looking at the continual, what I call disrespect of our youth, our children, coming in and out of prison with no direction, no purpose, never seeming to, with the recidivism rate, I'm telling you, I watched them come in and out while I was serving my 21 years. And in my heart, it hurt me, it pained me to see that. So I decided that, amongst myself and a few other brothers, that we would create an organization that would serve the formerly incarcerated, as well as act as a mechanism to prevent our sons, cousins, nephews, and daughters from coming to prison. So Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change is an organization founded by formerly incarcerated, but not necessarily just for those who've been in prison. And I explain that later, because the whole world is a prison, of sort.
Okay.
But we wanted to be the change we wanted to see. We got tired of watching or listening to so-called benevolent white folks, pastors, politicians speak on reform and restorative justice and all these things, but never seeing it in their policies, never really seeing it in reducing the number of prisoners or reentry. So we said we'll do it ourselves, because we take personal responsibility for our own actions. So we believe that we had a hand in the blight, in the plight that our communities are now in. So we said that since we had a hand in it, and if it's going to get corrected, because it's clear it's not getting corrected by the elected officials that we send to office, that we send to these offices every 2 to 4 years.
Correct.
We decided that we'll do it ourselves and take personal responsibility to mentor, to stop violence or de-escalate violence, to provide job opportunities, and just, all the things that we call social change, things that will help us as a community come out of the condition that we are in. So here we are, formerly incarcerated men, doing everything that we should do after serving time, coming back and after paying our debt to society, we're giving back. And that's what ECCSC represents, an organization that take personal responsibility for its past and hope to direct and change the course of action for the future.
That's good.
Okay.
Without action.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Yes.
Speaking about what you're saying, the recidivism rate is increasing.
Yes, sir.
So for those, let me break that down. Recidivism is the revolving door of going into prison, coming right back out.
Yes.
Now they tell you that when you serve your debt to society, When you served your debt to society, you're a free man. You get to go out and reclaim your life that you had before. You and I both know that is untrue.
That's fallacy.
Because they have the laws, the federal laws. You can't stay in a federal public housing if you have a felony. So what does that mean? You got no place to live.
No doubt.
When you go to get a job, a lot of times they say, well, where you been for the last 5, 7, 10 years? I was locked up. Okay, well, thank you very much. When you leave out, their resume goes into the trash. But one of the bigger things, and they just exposed it in Florida, was when you, in the state of Illinois at least, not in the southern states, in the state of Illinois, when you come out of prison, all you have to do is re-register and your right to vote is back.
Yes.
A lot of brothers don't know that. And so I ran for office this last cycle, and I was out getting signatures, and I ran across a couple of brothers that said, oh man, I just got out of prison, so I can't sign that. And I was like, what makes you think that? So there is a structured purpose in not telling you what you can do.
Yes, sir.
And so if we don't have brothers like you out there, at least explain and say, hey, these options are available to you. The brothers go out here and they don't have anything left to them.
Now, Paul, can you elaborate on where can someone find that information? Where can they find if they're able to register to vote? How can they
that's the key. That's the key. You actually have to go into some of these organizations. Like I just became a registrar with People Empowering People group. So I can go out, I can register anybody today. I'm a deputy registrar now. But again, you have to have some direction. If you don't know where to go, you don't even think about that.
That's right.
But the brothers, and it was, I say brothers, but it was white men, Indian men, whoever, down in Florida, they changed the law. They said they get their right, because at first they didn't get the right to vote when they got out. They changed it. But then a certain political party said, you got to pay back all the money we spent on y'all before you can get that right to vote back. So that's like Jim Crow law again.
Well, let me say this, man. First of all, we live in a country of laws and rules. You sentence these men by saying or claiming or proving that they broke a law through a jury of their so-called quote-unquote peers. And that, in my case, I had 90% white jury from Winnetka, Glencoe, Kenilworth, Highland Park.
Nobody from
no. So, and they don't know. They don't know the conditions of our communities or where we come from, or the backstory of the person that they're about to sentence and throw their lives away or life away.
And don't care.
Because
they can prove that because what they do. We used to have the prisons that the state funded.
Right.
Now we got private funded prisons.
Which
means they need to have people in there.
A constant rotation of bodies to fill those spaces. But this is why I just want to touch on this, so I need the people to understand that don't know. It's like you sentence me based on constitutional claim of violating, the 13th Amendment, except by 13th Amendment, that slavery is legal.
My email is paulcollins.13a@gmail for a reason.
So, right. So once you become convicted or get convicted by a quote-unquote jury of your peers or a judge, your rights are at that point over with. You have to, you are subjected to the rules and regulations of the IDOC in our case, but correctional institutions all across the country. And then, but the problem is when after we served our time, the time that the judge has sentenced us to, and we serve it successfully, all our rights ought to be restored or should be restored. But that's not the case. Although we are no longer incarcerated, there are those underlying laws and rules and discrimination that happens to us. I call us perpetual underclass. Prisoners, the formerly incarcerated, are permanent underclass. It's a whole nother caste that you're dealing with. That's like similar to the LGBTQ in the past. We are the only unprotected class in America right now. You can't say anything negative or offensive about LGBTQ
Now, if you want your job,
or
Not
Jews
at all.
or the
Not at all.
Jews
Not at
or
all.
anybody or even women in that sense. Women gotta have a little more rights now. They're band together and they created a little power base for themselves. But you can say anything about a formerly incarcerated person, do anything to a formerly incarcerated person, like discriminate against them in a housing process, discriminate against them in the employment opportunity, discriminate against them in grants and opportunity to allow them to create businesses and push forward in life after serving their time. See, you can't tell me when we as a people are the number one bodies that's languish in these prisons that they have $30,000 to $40,000 to take care of me and house me for 20 years. 20 years you have all the money in the world to keep me confined in a 9x12 space. But upon my release, you have not even $20,000 to help me get back on my feet, even if it's given, even if it's placed in the hands of a fiscal agent.
Right.
See, I would like to be able to push that agenda, that legislation to politicians to say, hey, if we have all these issues and having all these problems getting employment, then that should be an opportunity for us to, because discrimination is real and you can't really see it and measure it.
But it still
exists. It exists. Definitely still exists. And since that we know that it exists, let's create an opportunity for those who have proven that they are really attempting or trying to reform themselves and they have a business plan and a business idea. We should be able to help them brothers to become self-employed. And then ultimately, just like I say, no taxation without representation. Here we are as formerly incarcerated people paying taxes. We working jobs and paying back into society, and society don't represent us. There's no way our tax dollars should go towards this country and serving this country and the people in this country without us being properly represented. No legislator, no real legislation, no real legislators, not even our own black aldermen and congressmen and state reps, really, in every ward, really represent the formerly incarcerated. It's a joke on his face, and I'm going to say this last point, and then I'm going to let you ask me any other question you like. You can't justify logically, rationally, having all the money in the world to isolate our bodies in a 9x12 space for 24 hours a day. Then upon release, you have none of that money to go into reformation, to reform us out of mental health, because you can't be in a cage like an animal for 20 years and not do some type of psychoanalyzation of a person, man. Yeah, you got to deprogram a man's body and mind from this prison industrial complex.
Are inmates able to enroll into like PTSD?
Man, they don't have. They would take organizations like my organization. I hope to have the mental health component. See, but without resources, you can't really do a great work. You can everybody. That's why I don't like that, man. When you sit here and you put forth a concept, but you really don't have the dollars to really serve the people properly. So y'all become 501c3 pimps, like pastors and politicians do all the time. So it's time to call everybody out on that. You're not serving the community. I tell you this, if anybody getting a 501c3 grant, all you have to do to determine what they're doing with their money is look at their neighborhoods and the communities that they're attached to.
Exactly.
I don't care where you at. If you're a pastor and you got a church on every corner and there's a drug dealer on every corner, the pastor is stealing. Trust me, because he's not trying to serve the public. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, no, that one thing you said that I don't know where the switch came from, but prisons used to be about reform.
Yes,
it used to have teachers in there. It used to have classes, and you had to go to class.
That's right.
And you had opportunity to get your, if you didn't have a high school diploma, if you didn't have an 8th grade, they did at one time.
But let me tell you, it stopped the moment this government, this country, FBI, CIA, legislators said gang chiefs are not finna regulate and control nothing in the prison. You got to understand The folks, the people, those brothers, them elders, them brothers that was in the prison, they forced those shorties coming into prison to get an education. You couldn't be a part of a gang without going to school. Them brothers made you get your GED. So with all the bad that you see in these prisons, in these streets, them brothers had a sense of order. See, one thing for sure. Gangs didn't start with black people. If we don't know our history of gangs. The unions and these white men that lock us out form a gang bangers. They mafia. They form a gang leads and our leaders and chiefs. And I tell you that we emulate everything we see. That's why we in the mobs and the gangs, man. The crime serves everyone but us. Yeah. Crime pays. It just don't pay us.
Well, that's because the old mafia put on two-piece Lehman Brothers suits, and now they run your government.
Ain't no question. They run your government. They control your unions. All of that is a gang.
Millions of dollars.
FOP is a gang.
Yes.
These people are gang bangers. State's attorneys are gangs.
Okay, so we're coming up on the 6 o'clock hour, and going into the 6 o'clock hour, what I want to get more into is ECCSC.
Yes.
Because I get a lot of questions. Of course, me now being your co-host on your show and bringing you in on this show, it's now opening up my cousin is locked up, my brother is locked up, my sister, my auntie, and this is what she's going through. And I've been when they come in, I try to tag you. I'll tell them right now the best way is Facebook. So, I'll tell them, to tag me and things or send it to me, and I try to tag you into it. So, because I know it's going to bring it to your attention. You can look into it at least. Then we can kind of talk about it or whatever. So, definitely want to talk about what specifically ECC can do, and as far as help with these situations, because I need to get this out, and I need you to talk about it because it's coming into me so much. Like, Queenie, can he help my cousin? Can he help my brother? So before we go into that, real quick, I just want to say thank you for everyone tuning in. This is our first exclusive show sponsored and hosted by Sour Patch Media. Stay tuned for the multiple ways to download our app. We will be dropping that app exclusively. So in order to get the WVOG app, I will have steps for you to take. We'll be giving away prizes and all type of things like that going into the new year. So this is where the Windy City Review will now be broadcasted weekly on Thursdays. You can find us here Thursdays 5 to 7 p.m. We will have anywhere from politicians to public figures, community activists,
you said y'all
organizations.
Gonna have politicians.
Yes, oh yeah,
Tricks.
Tyrone.
She said politicians.
So for those that know my homie Tyrone over here, we got to throw out that little disclosure. All the views of everybody that sits in these chairs are not necessarily the views of Sour Patch Media. We agree to disagree on some things.
Or Windy City Review.
Or the Windy City Review. So that being said, because I know a lot of the politicians and I talk to them, and my thing is so now my take
Tell them
on
give
it,
me some money so I can help the people
that's why we're trying to bring it all together. I mean, now everyone has their ways of doing things. You are a bit radical.
That's good.
You bust out windows.
That's good.
I just can't bust out no windows.
No, you aren't supposed to. That's my job.
Right. So, and we all are trying. I feel like we are, especially the three people that are right now sitting at this panel. We all have, at the end of the day, we have the same agenda. We just deliver it a different way. We use different tactics in what our agenda is. Now, as far as myself, I'm that person that I want to talk. Growing up, they call me Sid the Science Kid. I want to know everything about everybody and everything. So I want to talk with the politicians because I want their views. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the person that I know what's going on. I know what's going on too. But at the end of the day, I still want to give them a platform to speak and to speak on what's going on. And then I want to ask my questions. Like, I can say how I feel about what this one is doing. That's why for anyone that follows me, I put up a post that basically said, because I got a little backlash about being lately involved with Tony Preckwinkle's banquets and things like that, you know. And I'm just going to be honest with everybody. With what I'm doing, I have a heart to change. I have a heart to change some things because I know what it was like growing up in poverty. So if I can get, I really don't care who this one don't like, who this one don't like, who that one don't. I don't really care about what you don't like, because at the end of the day, I want to talk to this person so I can get an understanding, and then I can ask those questions, and I can do that on this platform. So for a person that can shoot me a text and say, why is you effing with Tony Preckwinkle, I can have Tony Preckwinkle sitting in this seat, and she can talk about whatever it is that she has going on. No,
I would like the devil to sit in the seat and ask him why he's the devil.
Whether we're gonna believe it or not, I like to have that opportunity to talk with them as well, because like I said, I have some questions that I want answered, and then at the end of the day, in my world and how I feel is, if I can talk to them and at this point, yes, I definitely think all of our legislative leaders, everyone in seats, I definitely think it is a time that we hold them accountable for what they are supposed to do in our communities, because we elect them to be in our communities. They represent our communities. And that's why we voted for you, because what your commercial said that you was going to do and everything else. And so I definitely think it's time to put the hammer down on them. And in my little world, in my little WVOG world, I just feel like if I'm able to sit with them and I'm able to bring these people in on a regular, and I'm able to get that person in this seat to say to my community, to my followers, look, this is the ward that I represent. Yes, I am going to open my doors. Yes, I am going to open my phone lines to talk to people. Yes, I am, because I got them here to do that. And then if my people follow up with me and say, you know, I have an issue in my community, and I did go to that alderman's office and I couldn't get in, I have that alderman's number in my cell phone, so I can say, remember what you said when you interviewed with me, that you were going to open up your office doors? I have this person right here. This is the issue. I can at least try. I can try to be a mediator, because at the end of the day, whether we can change the world or we can change the community, we can change the block, it has to be done. It has to start. The back of I have 3 sets of business cards. And all my business cards, I don't care how ghetto it sounds, I don't care how wrong grammatically it might be, but on the back of my card it says you won't get it, or it says you have to start somewhere or you won't go anywhere. So at some point, everyone, we have to start.
I think you shouldn't apologize for the politicians she keep on.
No, I ain't apologizing for nobody. I'm not apologizing for nobody. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we have to start somewhere to get it in order. And this is my way of starting somewhere to bring them in and say, what you got going on?
Our sister Queenie Green is not responsible for what I say, so you don't have to hold her accountable.
No, it's not even about holding me accountable, because
here's the thing too.
We had Justice Slaughter in on you.
If people didn't hate on you, you ain't doing it right.
I mean,
point blank. Haters gonna hate when you doing the thing successfully. And
right. I mean, I can have the rappers. I can have singers. I can have everybody
as
in
a
this
media
seat.
person.
But at the end of the day,
you don't have to even explain to nobody.
No, I'm not explaining nothing. But at the end of the day, this is the point of this show, and this is the point of today's introductory, a reintroductory of understanding why the Windy City Review exists, and that is because I can sit. If I am able to sit with these people, that my people that on this live, the people that on the block, they can't sit. They don't. You know, they are not blessed to have that.
But the people on the block represents me.
Yes.
See, listen, they not gonna sit. They not gonna sit. That's the problem.
But if Queenie Green can talk to them and they accept my invite and they come in here, then I can get them in here and I can sit with them, because my neighbor doesn't know any politicians. She can't sit with them, but she got questions. And when my neighbor has a question for my alderman or my state representative, I can get my state representative in here and say, my neighbor got this question.
But I don't think it's a question.
If we're gonna do that, though, we do have to get the people if they got questions,
Yes.
y'all got to get these questions to us, because you having these questions ain't gonna get answered if we don't know you got
Right.
those questions.
And not only that, man. See, the people are.
They've been put on for so long.
Man, listen, Queen, it
anymore.
don't matter. They don't care if Queen asked the politician 1,000 questions.
Yeah, I
If
know.
it never fully if it
Into
never
action.
actions,
Right.
then having them on the show is really just giving them a greater platform. See, if the platform doesn't challenge them
That's
to
the key.
Who
no,
said
I'm
it's
saying
not gonna
no, I
challenge
didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I'm saying if the platform doesn't challenge them, and what I mean by challenging them is that we have to most definitely hold them accountable even after they leave the show. We got to do it. And I say we because we are the people, and we are the people after hearing them, and you broadcast them live, and they able to see that they said this. Then we able to now step to them and say, we saw you on Queen Green.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we understand
you
that.
said that your office will be open for the
And-
community. Why is it not? And then as with that, if I have to be the person that I am called because I have a cell phone number or I can get to them and the community can't, if I have to be that person to follow up and say, hey, these people trying to get in there, and then if is there?
Well, we spend too much time
Right.
with these punk politicians.
Well,
Hey, don't call nobody no
wait.
punk on my
Man,
show now. That's all.
Let's get back.
Ain't no
Let's get back.
censorship.
So let me
But
let
now-
me get to my questions for Mr. Tyrone Muhammad, because we can talk about this all night.
I get silenced every time. I know what we
No,
talk
no,
about.
no.
I'm serious. Everything is shut down again.
Yeah.
Lately,
Your system set down on you.
lately, and my live button has been taken from me. Each show that we've done talking about reparations, talking about anything that's empowering our people, my live.
Mine
So
don't
for
know
everybody, if you can share this, if y'all
Yeah.
can make this go viral, I want to know why every show, even whether it's on my show or whether it's on somebody else's show, anything we talking about that empowers the people, I get shut down. Y'all, hashtag why is Queenie getting shut down?
See, not only that, you not radical. I am, and they don't shut me down.
Why?
Because he throw a brick through their window.
Listen, they don't care.
I
Listen,
I gotta get
listen,
that.
no,
I gotta
I'm just gonna
call
tell you.
Tyrone.
I'm gonna just tell you. People say that so I can get. We going in, and I know Paul got these questions.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand, some people, nice people get killed all the time.
Also,
Right.
You better go ask Dr. King, and listen to what I'm saying. He ain't never said a foul word against white folks. He ain't never said nothing foul against another black person. So when we're around here thinking that because we be nice and we say something and we politically correct, we got the proper diction and dialogue to edify. Listen, man, that don't mean nothing. Look at our community. You have a lot of highfalutin Negroes in these positions of authority, and they can't make nothing happen. But people only listen. If you can't push up against nothing, and they push up against you, and you don't push back, and nobody want to be. Everybody want to have peace. Even the tyrant want peace at some point to go to sleep.
I want peace.
Listen, even the tyrant want peace to sleep. He can't stay up forever. You need to be secure while you sleep. Right. Everybody want peace. Trust me. But they don't want it with us, in the sense that because they know we don't have a backbone to stand as a group, as a unified front.
Okay,
against
let's
any of that.
stand you down and let's
well, that's
get
the
on
whole
to
thing. Because that's one of my points I try to make all the time. Our power is in unity.
Just like you can run for office.
Right.
Who did you run against? See, who was it you ran against?
I ran against Anthony Beale, Ninth Ward.
Yes.
See, if the people in that ward have issues, but they don't stand behind change, how then we allow the same tyrants and the same abusers of authority and power continue to wreak havoc on communities that's in need? So the people have a direct say into that condition, but they need to know that there are people that stand for them, support them, and believe in them, and give them a backbone to stand.
Right.
That's the only thing that make throwing a brick through a window feasible, because people probably think it but don't have the heart to act.
A lot of people think it, and you inspired a lot of people not to throw a brick through a window, but a lot of
But
people
to
go,
stand up.
but to stand up and go.
Yes.
You know
Right.
what?
Yes.
I don't have to take this.
Yes.
Because there's some sisters who own a store
That's
that
right.
I can go. And see, here's the thing, and I go back, Umar Johnson, he said that we are the only people who don't put ourselves first.
That's
It's
right.
okay to go to somebody else's store, but go to somebody who look like you
That's right.
first. If we don't have what you need, then you go and do that. But first, us first. That's all.
Go ahead.
But here go my question for you. So I'm aware that you came out with some products from ECCSC. You had like a scooter or
Oh man, that trike.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
See
yeah.
now I
No
saw that,
doubt.
and
No question.
that drew me in. That's my first
Man,
introduction to you.
bro,
So what's going on with that?
We working on trying to get these. We're working on the police department, the arena, sports arenas.
So wait, let me get this
you
straight.
wanna know
So
what the
the
track-
ex-cons
Yes.
are making scooters for police.
No, the scooter is manufactured. I mean, the distributor is Yates Enterprise. Dr. Yates is an African, and we're gonna have him on your show ultimately. He's an African American black doctor, surgeon, plastic surgeon, hair transplant surgeon. He's like the Black Bosley.
All right.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, he
all
can
right,
give us.
all right.
He can give me half I wanted it, but I'm cool with my
You
ball
ruled the
head.
ball, right.
I ain't got that. I'm not that superficial about no half. So I'm just saying. Anyway, he's lined up and then partner. He's actually putting his scooter. You saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw.
And this is awesome. I want to make that my goal is to make that one of the vehicles we use to patrol our community,
And
to
that's
service
awesome.
our community.
That's an awesome idea.
No doubt.
One of the things that
And it's
I'm
cool.
not, and I'm not
Kids
trying to
love
get you.
it.
I'm not
No.
trying to get you hot
Don't
again.
get them riled
no.
up.
But back in the day,
We need
Black
our
Panther
windows.
Party was about
Yes.
servicing the community.
Yeah.
That's all it was about. And see, we have forgotten that we have a right to protect our queen.
No doubt. Our community.
We have a
period.
meeting. We have a meeting coming up. I have a meeting with this young lady about the overwhelming disappearance of all our sisters.
Yes.
And it's
yes.
not being reported.
That's,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And it's not being
Yes.
investigated.
Yes.
And so there's a problem. But that leads me into my next question for you. Actually, I'm going to go back to the scooters. You got anything else coming beside the
Listen,
scooters?
we not only sell the security. See, you got a lot of people running around here talking about they into community active, they violence prevention people. Not only am I tied to the violence prevention de-escalation, we also sell metal detectors. We got metal detectors, Yates Enterprise. We have the metal detectors in the county jail and some of the jails in the county side, and we also have metal detectors in Maywood, Markham, Harvey. We got our metal detectors coming through there. And as a MBE company, there's a company called Garrett's that we
I know
always
about
go
Garrett's.
through. Garrett is a racist company that has metal detectors. The metal detectors, the components that make the metal detector work, the links are called slave and masters. They still
Wow.
use that old slave speak.
Wow.
So we as black people allow our children to go through the Chicago public school system, walking through metal detectors that calling them niggas. We sitting there through hours, we sending our children to school and not even knowing that we's preparing them for prisons, walking
Definitely.
through metal detectors, that the same metal detector that I walked through in prison in my 21 years. And we don't know no information, we don't know nothing, and our kids are being prepped and managed for pipelines to prisons, and they start in our grammar schools and our
Yes,
high school.
yes.
But this Dr. William Yates is the only largest and the only minority company in the way that he is, and his machines are not in those public school systems. Not only do he do metal detectors, he do scanners for the airports with the bags go through.
Okay.
We have those as well, and you have the same scanners also are in the public school system. And this man can't even
Yes,
get
they
a
are.
minority share of the contract in his city that he graduated from Northwestern, and the black doctors with black politicians can't get a minority share of the metal detectors in the contract. While our children are walking through metal detectors that disrespect them, and call them out their name.
I'm not gonna say anything because that ain't for me to do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, they had this strike.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much there that could have been done. I'm not disagreeing with the strike. I know they needed the things that they needed.
Right.
But all I'm saying is there were millions of dollars from a union sent to a certain candidate, and when people went on strike, how come that money wasn't sent back?
And listen, Dr. Yates only hires for the distribute, repair service is formerly incarcerated men.
So
that service he providing, every company should have a community benefit.
Oh yeah.
Every company. Here's Dr. Yates doing something about the formerly incarcerated. But he gets no love, no accolades, no nothing from the very city he was born and raised. Went to college, did it the right way. Went to college and became a doctor, one of the highest doggone professions you could become. A trauma surgeon is what led him, gunshot wounds is what led him into the metal detectors. Wow. Because he wanted to prevent this. Did we just have a shooting today?
We had shooting every day.
Every day. I'm talking about mass something in L.A. or something.
Yeah, that was a shooting. That was a 16-year-old kid.
He got tired and he saw himself removing bullets out of kids, and he wanted to be able to be a part of prevention. See, I'm not only by the prevention, I'm also, I not only react to it, we do something about it, bro.
Okay.
So every aspect, and I'm trying to, you know, we got the scooters. So we also now patrolling. We want to be able to do some things and be a part of the infrastructure of building real economic wealth for our community, where we only, with that distributorship, I only want formerly incarcerated men to be able to distribute that school.
So, and I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you this anyway. ECCSC willing to come to any ward, any neighborhood?
To speak, to talk, to do anything that we can do. And the only thing limit us from doing all that we want to do is resources. See, I'm not Arnie Duncan. I'm not Cure Violence. I'm not Cred. I'm not Safer. They get all the money, all the resources. Yet the people on the front line, the grassroots soldiers and women and children that's out here fighting crime and violence, they don't have the necessary resources to do the greatest amount of work. And that's what we have to get piped into our elected officials, and especially Ms. Lightfoot. We have to get that understood. And this is what I'm saying when you talk about the politicians. Go ahead.
I got two questions for you.
We'll go back to that.
You covered everything. Yeah.
We'll go back to that because Tony, Dorothy, all of them has been in office for a long time. These people have been in office, and a lot of aldermen, and our conditions of our communities haven't changed.
It's gotten worse.
So you're not gonna tell me no politician could tell these people anything. They'll listen, but no one will ever believe them because they don't empower people like me to represent the community. They empower people outside our community. Maybe we can start
putting the hammer down and we can make that happen.
Well, we
so for those tuning in,
I don't believe it till I see it.
For those tuning in, I want to say thank you for tuning in on each of the lives. Want to give a shout out to everyone tuning in now on the Instagram. You can find myself, hashtag Queenie Green, hashtag WVOG. You'll find everything we're doing. If you want to check me out on Instagram, that is WVOG Media, CHI. If you want to check me out on Twitter, that's Queenie Green. YouTube, that's Live with Queenie Green. And stay tuned for our upcoming web series showcasing Black-owned businesses, bricks and mortars. Today we have I don't know what to call you, radical. We have, but you know what? Unbreakable, radical, educated, powerful Tyrone Muhammad in the studio with us, and my co-host Paul Collins. We want to give a thanks to Sour Patch Media for sponsoring the show. You can find us now here every Thursday.
Sour
Patch, we got them on the table. Sour Patch Studios sponsoring the show. You can find us here every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. And we will be talking to as many of the legislative representatives, as many of the community activists, as many people that are involved in the community. And once again, whether you agree with me or not, Mr. Rome, Mr. Ty, Whoever calls themselves or is, and we'll leave it at that, whoever calls themselves, whatever title they give themselves, but anybody that's involved in the community, whether you like them or not, whether you believe what they say or not, those are the people that I reach out to have on this show, because regardless to our views, at the end of the day, they still are making the decisions on what's going on in our communities. Mm-hmm. So I still want to talk to them at the end of the day.
I want to talk to them.
I bet you do. You won't talk to them here though, because they probably won't come in. So that being said, thank you for coming in. You can also find me on Tuesdays with the Frontline show, and I am Tyrone's co-host. And today we are just...
And it's uncensored.
And it's uncensored. Tyrone gonna be Tyrone. Tyrone is gonna be Tyrone. But stay tuned, because overall, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to better our communities. And that's what ECCS is doing. So thank you for those tuning in. Make sure at least these two shows, they will be giving you, the Frontline show and the Windy City Review will be giving you everything we can on all aspects of resources for our communities, what we can do, and the controversial topics of what's going on in our community. So once again, check those out. You can follow Tyrone Muhammad, and you'll find the links all over our pages to tune into the YouTube. Subscribe, follow, everything. Stop, don't be smacking on my mic, man. Don't be smacking on my mic. In the middle of my advertising.
That's the good thing
about it. So yeah, definitely. Make sure you subscribe to the Tyrone Muhammad YouTube channel. You can find the Frontline show and what'll be going on there. Everything going on with the Windy City Review. We'll be putting that out. We will be dropping an exclusive app. Well, the app will be free on Google and iTunes, but we will be dropping that app exclusively. I'm going to let you know when we're going to drop it. I'm not going to tell you now. Just be tuned in and waiting for it. Today we are once again elaborating on what we've been talking about kind of all week, just our communities overall, and then also what ECCS is doing for the community. Now, Paul had his questions that he asked, and you definitely had some answers. Now, what I like to ask directly, because I got to go back to this, because I promised I didn't really get, because on your show I'm co-hosting, mm-hmm. So I kind of sit in the back seat, on the side seat.
No, she don't.
Shut up. I sit on the side seat, and we go over what you plan for us to talk about for the day. And when I come away from that, my inbox goes crazy of people that are in need of you and your services and your help. It shocked me how many people are hitting me up. Queenie, what can he do? So what I want to ask is for anyone right now. So for all my people tuned in, if a person, and do understand, I'm gonna say this for you, do understand everything that Mr. Muhammad has going on. He can give you everything that he can give you, but that does not necessarily say that he can completely turn over somebody's case or anything like that. We can do what we can to assist or give information, right?
Right. I still have to report to the parole.
Right. But we can give them some information and the knowledge that you've retained being incarcerated for 21 years. You can give them some assistance on which avenues to go, which ways to go. And this is what people, and I just had to put that out there, because I need to know. I don't need you coming at Tyrone or coming at me like my cousin's still locked up and needed help. Right. And
so you can't even go to your own politician in your ward. See, that's where they need to go, really. But that's what the alderman is for. I do have people that are asking me, can he give, what can I do to will he talk with us? What can I do to ask questions on which ways my aunt should go for my cousin, things like this, because they don't have the knowledge or they don't know what to do to even start helping or trying to overturn some things that they feel is unjustly done to their family members and things like that. Mm-hmm. So as far as ECCSC and you, for the community that necessarily just needs some, guidance, how can they find you, and what are you doing? How are they able to get that guidance? See, this ECCSC, man, that's what I would like to focus on. More than anything, focus on how to better the brother's condition and ultimate return back into society as they amalgamate back into this crap that, is the the communities that we live, that they go back to. Because most of the communities that the guys return back to are high crime rate. I mean, areas with high crime rate and blighted communities. And they go back to no job, no resources. So
like something you spoke on, coming out and
man,
when you have
homeless.
to homeless and having
you know what
to
I'm saying?
find somewhere
I
to
tell
live when
people
you first come out.
all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's you want your own space of peace. Other than that, you homeless, even as a formerly incarcerated person who's been housed for 2 decades. And then you come back out and you have nowhere to go because you need your space. You need your time to unwind from that trap, that mental trap, that physical trap that you was just under. And those all of the prison queues. So as an organization, I'm always readily available to give that type of information. My website is ECCSC.org, ECCSC.org. You can find me on Facebook, of course. You can find me on Instagram, Tyrone Muhammad. Yes.
You need that that incarcerated or ECCSC informational line. You know how when you can call the county and you can give you can call the county and you can give that DOC number and the name and all birthday and all that to find out the information.
See, that's the help.
See,
you need you need a line that people can call and say ask simple questions.
I'm gonna tell you what mothers care about the most. They care about me stopping their sons from getting killed.
Yeah.
See, I can have all of those things, but you can't be a master of everything when you don't have the resources to be a jack of all things. You know what I'm saying? So I spend more time looking at dead bodies and de-escalating shootings than I am with the 60 or so shorties that I mentor. I'd rather mentor those brothers 8 to 27 that I've got in my Rolodex that I kick it with and they reach out to me. That's why I want to be spending my time trying to teach young men how to be, boys how to be men, or these men that call themselves men, how to be more ethical in the understanding of what manhood is. So I can't even, I'm not able to exercise those things because we too busy stopping shootings, and we do it with, once again,
so we need
with no resources.
So
we got to create things as we get the resources.
Take your calls.
Yeah.
And when these mothers got questions on, my son is in the iron home right now.
You can't.
But he had to be available.
It's like, how can, or not only that, reproduce yourself. It's almost virtually impossible to reproduce yourself when you can't train people to do what you do because they're in need of economics opportunities. The people that's qualified to lead, to be a part of ECCSC, they work in jobs. They are overburdened by jobs that have no meaning in life just to pay bills.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why isn't it that our jobs should serve our communities? We should be in jobs that serve our community, that give life, give meaning back to our society. That's why I want to see these brothers, especially the formerly incarcerated brothers, who not only know what it feels like to go through prison, to do time, but they also know what it takes to not end up in that condition in the first place. You would think that's what the schools would call on us. You would think that the institutions of learning that's failing our children will call on us, because I go into DJJ and see former students all going to prison from school to these preparing them for the penitentiary.
We were talking about the minimum wage just in the city. That's another issue. We were talking about minimum wage.
That's a hard thing. Because I said
minimum wage doesn't even cover the lowest the lowest rate of rent in Chicago. Minimum wage doesn't cover that, and
what do? You have to work either another job or you have to do some things. And I've heard women say, and you got the back page and all this stuff. It's sad. That don't make me
I
want
see
to
where
cry,
you're going, 'cause
man.
that's what
You
they need
got
to
to
go get
now.
in.
I got to hustle off
Yep.
these petty little clowns who disrespect black women
Yep.
and their sisters. Hey, they
get extra
having
money.
all type of oral sex and doing all types of things for $20 to $40 and $50 extra to get extra money to make
because
it.
it's not enough to pay your
Pay.
rent,
And they work
and-
jobs with children.
And what people don't understand is, and these people that are, what I feel like that are creating this minimum wage rate, what they don't understand is,
Queenie, they do
it's,
understand.
they understand. I know they understand, but I'm just saying, if it's not enough to just cover rent, it's not, life doesn't stop at rent. You still need everything else that goes along with it. You still need your toiletries.
Well,
you
see,
still need to
here's
live.
my-
You still
here-
need to
Here's
eat.
one
You
of my
still
things
need
I said.
everything
They
else.
keep
in your
saying
life.
minimum wage. Okay, so minimum wage. Minimum wage is supposed to be what you have to make in order to live, right?
Cost of
So
living.
Yes.
my thought process was this. Now I haven't brought this out to anybody. It's the first time I'm saying it to y'all. You take the lowest amount of rent in the city of Chicago, whatever the lowest amount of rent is, then you take what would it cost for 3 square meals a day? You take that. You take minimum medication. Even if you don't have no sickness, medication for a year. Toiletries, transportation.
deodorant,
And I'm not even
man.
talking about a car. I'm talking about a bus and L and that.
CTAs and metros.
Twice. Let's say at least 2 buses, a train and a bus. Twice. You take all of that. That's on a daily basis.
Yes.
Do that for 365 days a year, and then you divide that into your 80-hour work week, and that should
That's
be
how
your
you
minimum
come
wage,
up with
because
minimum wage.
that is minimum wage.
Minimum
Because
wage.
minimum to live.
So you
Yeah.
saying then you really just eliminated them people having a car at all? Because if you add car,
Yep.
for a month
Insurance.
times 12,
Right.
and then gas,
Right.
and insurance,
Right.
and maintenance.
Yes.
I did.
And
You're
maintenance
right.
costs.
You're right. I
So
eliminated car
you
because I'm
pretty
saying
much
what your
saying that-
minimum need to live.
Poor black people
Can't have no car.
Can't have a car. Can't go to the movie.
Poor
Can't have a night
poor
out at the
whites
restaurant.
can't have a car
Can't spend
in
a
order
good.
to survive.
Can't spend a good occasion with their child.
I'm
for
just
a
saying,
birthday.
but that's the minimum. Brother, look at what I'm
No,
saying.
man,
I'm saying
I
that's the
know.
minimum
But
that you
a
should
car-
have to be able
A
to have.
car in America is a minimum.
Considering where the jobs are, yeah.
Yes,
you
yes,
gotta go out.
yes,
you gotta go out to
definitely.
Naperville to get a job. You gotta go out
If
to
you have
South Holland
children-
to get a job. Children getting back up to school
School, yeah.
because they're not safe. They're
the
not safe to walk down the
CTA
street.
Bus should be an option. Everyone should in America should be able to afford a $2,500 car, and that's maintained and sustained so that they can get to and from. Even a moped or a scooter, you don't even have. See, a moped costs money.
Right.
I'm just telling you, $2,500 to $3,500 should be enough for everyone to get a nice running car. I know it's it. I know it is. And if you calculate minimum into all of that, bro,
Yeah.
I'm sure
It's
the people
like-
who people who calculate our minimum wage, I'm sure they got cars.
Oh,
Right.
no
But see,
question.
here's
I'm
the
sure
problem.
they got cars.
They went out there and they struck and they said we want a $15 minimum. So what did they do? They said, okay, we're gonna give you $15 minimum. We cutting your hours.
J.B. Prisker, and I'm gonna say it live. J.B. Prisker stood there and pumped his chest along with all these so-called black elected officials who have family members in these neighborhoods. They stand with these people, and they have family members who they know struggling. They come from communities that's struggling, and then they tell them this is, $15, and they punch their chest like they did something special. When they don't factor in tickets, they don't factor in fines, they don't factor in child support, they don't factor in no expenses, they don't even factor in emergencies, man.
Well, you
When
know if they're
you
not
say that,
factoring
Because
rent,
they don't see us.
and
They
you know,
don't
if
see
they're not
that.
factoring rent, if minimum wage is not enough to just
Paying
cover the roof over your head, they're not factoring anything.
Man,
I mean,
listen, minimum wage is a sentence to death. And you get a minimum wage is a death sentence
A slow
because now you force people to work an extra job in order to keep up. Now their health is failing.
Right.
And
Can't
eating,
get no medical.
they eating wrong because minimum wage do not allow you to buy fruits and vegetables for your family to
Not the good
sustain
stuff.
yourself at that price. And Mariano's and Whole Foods is not for black people.
I was just gonna say that's
so
a whole
quit
nother
playing
conversation.
about you brought a
and,
food that you
even,
helped the food desert when the very people that you brought it for can't afford the loaf of bread in the store.
The stores that are in our community, your Food for Less, your Save a Lot, your Aldi's,
man.
those stores.
What you know about that? Because that ain't in our neighborhood. Ain't none of those in our neighborhood.
Well, you know what? Okay, so you got, I know, at least I know there's the Save a Lot is like 100 and something, 87, something like that. Right, and if you don't have a vehicle
which is the problem from Argyle Gardens.
Yes.
From Argyle Gardens to get over to that Walmart.
On 111.
On 103rd. Because actually it's back like going toward 100. Let's say 107. How do they get there if they... And the big sports complex.
My point was even when you get away from all of that and you do go to, I know like I said, those three that are in most of the minority communities.
Right.
The Save a Lot, your Food for Less, and your Aldi's. When you go there, I shop at them. Of course I do. You don't get the fresh of anything. Your meat is not for your ground beef. If you eat your brown, all your meat is brown. So even the things that are in our community is still not adequate because it's still not fresh. It's outdated and all that other type of stuff.
Here's a question.
And that all ties into the community because of course you're gonna be mad if you're hungry.
Well, yeah.
Of course, you're gonna be.
Our children go to school
hungry.
So
of course we angry.
Go to school to eat.
So of course you're gonna be angry. Of course a child can't think or an adult can't think correctly because they're thinking on an empty stomach. So these are all aspects that go into the community that we my mom was really shocked that I think she needed to go to the ATM. Now the ATM at this particular liquor store, they have like $1 ATM. This is an Instagram. So this is not Facebook. This is Instagram. So they have so the liquor store has $1 ATM. Now the gas station has the ATM. It's like $2.75 or whatever. So I was like, Mom, going over to it's open. You can go over to the liquor store because that ATM is $1 fee. That's a whole nother situation. You're gonna charge me to get my money. That's another topic. But the ATM is $1 fee at the liquor store. But she's like, but it's early. Oh, Mom, the liquor store open at 7 a.m. The liquor store opens before. The liquor store opens before the store where you can adequately get some type of food, like the Dollar General. You can get some type of food in the dollar stores now. The liquor store opens before that.
Why liquor store on one corner and a church on the other?
I told him.
He just talked about it.
Man, listen. You want me? Don't ask me that. No. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you what to do with the pastor. I'm gonna tell you what you're supposed to do to the pastors when they do that.
We're questions out the window.
You got a few more, but really,
we still got some time. So
listen, all I'm saying is, even if the people are able to afford, to go to a dollar store, you shouldn't be buying groceries from a dollar store. The whole thing is designed. We have poor health.
Yes.
So we eat anything just to survive.
Yes.
We're not eating to maintain life. So that's our mindset as a people, because we conditioned to destroy ourselves and our neighbors. We don't care what we put in our mouth. Well, so we have to be taught what to eat. And if you give the people more options, then they will choose correctly. At a minimum cost. But what happens is, because you have liquor stores on every corner and convenience stores that service our people, and in most cases we have foreigners in our neighborhood that's selling junk at a greater price than a piece of fruit.
This summer I literally had to go on the north side to find a seeded watermelon.
We had some
technical difficulties.
Stand by.
So
that's called Queenie doing this.
Well, that was not. That was you, and that was you on my table. But I couldn't find now. For those who keep up with the health, the self-care on the health wise, the seeded watermelon versus the seedless watermelon. A seedless watermelon is a cloned fruit, and it's not good for you. Your real nutrients, your real everything comes from a seeded watermelon. When I tell you, and I do things like this, like I did my little, in the black community neighborhood research, and I went to those definitely Okay,
Okay,
that's just me.
Yours is stuff.
Those three that I spoke on, the Aldi's, the Save a Lot, the Food for Less, and I went to all three in around your Inglewood area. I went, to the one on 87th Street. I went to, there's a grocery store on 103rd and King Drive. I went to these different stores in the black communities. I could not find a seeded watermelon anywhere. I literally had to go to the north side to find a seeded watermelon.
Did you find some chicken?
Of course. Of course I did.
Well, always find some chicken.
Of course I did. So my point is, these are the things that's going on in our neighborhood. They're giving us what they want us to have. And then you have your Mariano's and your Whole Foods and places like that we can't afford. We can't afford what their prices is. So they put these places in these neighborhoods, and it's not for us anyway, because you can't afford it.
My father used to say it all the time. When you see something new go up in the black neighborhood, that ain't for us.
No. Well, that's how you know it's coming. That's how you know the re-gentrification is coming.
But see, that's the whole point too, though. That's where, again, our strength comes from unity. If we learn how to combine and stick with each other, that's their greatest trick they ever pulled on us, to break us up.
Man, our families, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, our aunties, grandmothers, we watch our sons get ushered off to prisons every day. We watch the mishandling of our communities every day. And, the only thing's gonna fix that issue that we have due to servitude, slavery, that we still have that mentality that we've been so demoralized and broken as a people that even the people who claim to represent us, they don't represent us with no urgency of now. Like, they don't represent us in a way that they actually believe that they can make a difference. They move at such a slow snail's pace, and they act as though all positions and posts that they're in are permanent.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say, hence, they never seek to pass on knowledge, legislative understanding to younger
that's a threat.
Politicians, up and coming young men and women. That's why you can have the Danny Davis and the Bobby Rushes and all these ones that sit in these positions. First of all, if you've been in the office over 8 years, in any ward, in any position.
So 15 years?
15 years. It probably needs to be a firing squad.
Well, look, here's the thing about that.
I'm going to say it probably needs to be a firing squad.
You see,
what they do to their traitors in every country. Politicians are people, I'm going to say it live, I have acted as traitors to our community. And pastors too. And I debate them any day, every day on their traitorous activity that they have performed every day while reaping the benefit off of our ignorance. That's what it is.
You heard Lori call them out.
And listen. Hey man, I want to give Lori a chance. I'm an optimist in that sense. But when you have daily administration and you have ROM administration still operating in your administration, you're not finna tell me it's raining and you pissing on my head.
That brings me back to one question I had for you.
Okay.
So the one question we're gonna get out this evening before the show closes is Eddie Johnson.
Yeah. What about him?
So Eddie Johnson never applied to be the chief of police.
Right.
No.
Rom went and
made him.
Just
put him.
There was like three other candidates that had been vested, they had been interviewed, they had been tracked. He went and got Eddie Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't agree with holding him over in the new administration, but that's Lori's prerogative. That's what she wanted. That's fine. But now he's leaving. What do you feel about this former Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck as the Chicago Interim Police Superintendent, Mr. Tyrone Muhammad?
First of all, if to replace, he's not going to be there long from what I'm understanding.
That's what we hope.
We hope. I'm sure he's not, because the people, we will probably drive him out here with the protesting and all the other stuff. And then politicians, one thing they don't like is the bunch of hoopla over some stuff that they've created.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one unifying thing that get all the activists on the same page.
Okay.
That police chief, in light of Rodney King beating and this guy being this guy being a chief of that L.A. doing the kind and a number of Bloods and Crips that his administration has shot and killed or incarcerated, or I know about that as well. So I'm just saying a number of people. So let me just say this. I really don't concern myself with small stuff like that, because in the end, this guy don't know nothing about no Chicago. He would never be able in enough time to learn this diverse city to even be able to do something. And that's the disrespect of the people that I see in that appointment in the first place. Because you got a sister, what's her name? The deputy chief sister that they was looked over.
Yep.
And then you got people that I know, like Deputy Chief Betts, and people like that who I know that's actually in the communities and know people and been next to Superintendent Eddie Johnson for a long time. And they don't get the point. They don't get to sit as interim. Let them sit as interim until you appoint a person through a so-called quote-unquote political process. All I'm saying is, man, I don't know this man in terms of his level of understanding, but I know he's for police. I know he's not for the communities, because you can't be for the community of Chicago people if you're not from Chicago, you don't know about Chicago, and you're not going to learn Chicago. I'm still trying to learn Chicago streets, and I've been born and raised here. I still get lost and have to put GPS downtown to make sure I'm going north, south, east, and west.
Now, do you think that someone that don't pick me up and throw me through a window, Tyrone?
What, girl? I would never do that to you.
Do you think having someone that's not from Chicago, do you think they may have like a non-biased,
you're talking about an
outsider, would they have like a non-biased opinion on how they run things, because they're not, like, say,
no,
if you're from the city, you're saying that they owe somebody.
No, I'm saying, like, if so we get somebody from the city, is it a possibility that if we do get somebody from the city, we can still get someone that has some ties to some other people, has some things, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she didn't go get somebody who was from a public defender's background that served.
No, we know that.
She went and got somebody that's a police.
Yeah, we know that.
He's the police.
Yeah.
He's not no humanitarian. She didn't get him. She didn't go get somebody that was a humanitarian police.
Why?
She went to get someone who's a police who looked over misreports, who looked over bogus shootings, who looked over all those things. I'm telling you, there ain't no perfect person for Chicago, because you can't police Chicago with police. Police do not police Chicago. The community has to bring order to Chicago, and you didn't go get police for white folks. You went to get the police to police black people.
Yeah.
The one superintendent. Now, a lot of people have a lot of heartburn about this one guy. I particularly liked him, Jody Weiss. Jody Weiss sat down with the OGs and said, "Hey, look, you gonna control these young bucks. You made them, you control them."
But see, that's still hypocritical when you're snatching all the OGs off the street and saying, "Hey, you know, this is what I don't understand." And I'm going to say this for the people on Facebook and all the lives so that they can understand the process of your country you call America. Our government take rogue terrorists and leaders all around the country, from Saudi to to Jordan, from Lebanon to, I'm just saying, to the Arab Springs, to Liberia. I mean, they take rogue terrorists, they take them, and the CIA empowers them, give these people that killed, that have known killers of American citizens, man, and give them a pass and convert them to their army so that they can kill and work for the United States government, taking out other terrorists, so they can be the snitch of sort for their communities of Arabs and terrorists. But won't even give brothers like me an opportunity to link and unify all the brothers that's in the communities, in the streets, to stop killing each other, the proper resources and the proper information and the proper understanding and support to stop the violence and the killing in our communities without going outside of our communities and then hiring us as community outreach workers, right, having no power and authority, no to write a check, no money, but yet you have us. We good enough to work for Arnie Duncan. We good enough to work for Safer. See, in prison, I taught people from Safer, from that organization in prison, I was the one that taught guys resume writing. Men like me. I was the one that taught guys how to do a proper job interview. We taught them how to do workplace stuff, related stuff. We gave them those skills and economic skills and taught them budgeting. We helped our young brothers in prison get their GEDs while incarcerated. The administration allows us to do that as these type of prisons.
Yes.
They don't want to, but they allowed us to because our voice is too strong, and they couldn't do it. Even out here in free society, you don't even get that.
Right.
We get more motion and activity in prison. You can be all you can be in prison that you can't be in society.
And that don't make sense.
That's the new army, prison, huh? So I'm telling you, prison is creating and producing a unique type of person, man, that society is washing over. It's not because they do it for us. It's because when you identify those brothers, those persons, those men who have took on the personal challenge of self-correction and change, then you got you got something now that you're producing in the womb of the prison. You're producing something special in the womb of the prison. And if you ever check the history of anybody that ever been to prison that had a social consciousness, the type of men that come out of that is much different than the people you find on these streets.
I say one thing at the end of that, and we almost at the end of the show, correct,
yes,
Queenie?
Yes.
It was once said, I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
Man, we living on our knees, and we have found that to be very pleasant. I come out,
that ain't me.
When I say we, I mean, it doesn't matter what I do to my household. My kids could have cut grass. My kids could have swings in the backyard. My kids could have everything they need to have a great life. But next door, if my neighbor's kid don't have all the necessity that he needs to thrive, he will be the very person who lead my son or my child down the wrong road, because now as a father, and I know that child that's next door is his friend, I have to take that child too, since he has no father, since he has no guidance, and since he has no food in his refrigerator. I have to feed that child and nurture that child alongside my own son, so that that child can grow up healthy and responsible. Because that'll be the same child that killed your child.
Well,
definitely.
That goes back to the thing, Sankofa. Sankofa is an old African, it's a bird, always with his head turned back. So you got to know your past to get to your future. Like you, I got a mentorship program. It's called We Are a Village. Mm-hmm. Again, African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And you just spoke on it. We grew up with Big Mama, Miss Johnson down the street, Mr. Jones across the street, and everybody had the right to whoop our tail.
And Flukish Stokes and everybody else that's a part of that.
That's right. But see, somehow in this stretch of time, this advent of technology, we have lost our humanity with respect for elders. I used to get up riding the bus. You got up. There was no question. You got up for a woman and an elder. There
Ain't
was no question.
That does not exist anymore. Men don't hold these young men. They don't open up doors
because they haven't been taught. They haven't been shown. And so that's where
they don't know
you
to
and
walk
I,
on the curb
and I'm not
side.
looking at you, Queenie. I'm looking at Tyrone. Me and you and those of our ilk have failed because as men, we ain't showed these young boys how to be men.
And
you can
that's
be a male.
why ECCSC is what it is, because we are saying it's my fault. I dropped the ball, and as an ex-con or formerly incarcerated, I don't feel no way about ex-cons because it don't mean what it. Ultimately, all you're gonna see is ECCSC. Just like you're going to see NAACP. You don't call yourself colored people no more, but they use the acronym still. So eventually you don't even know, some people don't even know what NAACP means.
That's right.
I don't want you to look at my formerly incarceration. I want you to look at the work. So ECCSC going to represent that organization that create, that has self-value, self-worth. And that if you desire to give and resources and donations, then it benefits you. It's not that I'm going to be looking for you to give me anything. I hope that you will have enough, but really, when you speak like I speak, when you move like I move, you will not find people that's in the political arena that besides a good brother like a David Moore who support me in everything I do, try to give everything, and not afraid to say that's my brother. Until you get people like that said, man, I'm going to see what my funding at on my ward so that I can feel like, so I can see how we can do more of this opposed to more of the police. And how can I justify constantly giving up funds and resources to a police department to police us, but never preventing anything, just responding. Right. So now that we want to change the ideals about what true community service look like. That's why I don't call myself a community activist. I call myself a community servant.
Okay.
That's my handle. I know I coined that, and I know I'm a community servant, and that's all I want to be, man. And if that means that I'll be able to make a few dollars doing what I love to do, then I will hope so. But if I don't, I'm not looking for nobody to give me nothing, so I don't have to kiss no tail.
I got you.
All right.
Can I get a hookup on one of them scooters, though?
Man, we gotta get. I'm telling you, them things.
We'll do the Wednesday review
on the scooters. I'm telling you.
All right. So for those tuned in, thank you for tuning in with us. You have been locked in with us. This is the Windy City Review. I am your host, Queenie Green. My co-host,
Paul Collins.
9th Ward Collective.
That's right.
And our
hands
guest
around 100.
Yes, the hands around 100s. And my guest here, Tyrone Muhammad, ECCSC.
The Unbreakable.
Yes, the People's Champ.
Hey,
the Lady Protector.
Oh.
I mean, we done seen so many different things that they call you now, you know. Man. And
all I want them to do is love each other, man, and support one another. And women, please, y'all need to stick together, because if we putting our lives on the line to make sure that you all are given the proper respect, the least you all can do is support one another in business and in programs and even just simply, man, just loving on one another so that y'all can elevate yourselves. You don't need no man elevating you and protecting you until he needs to protect you. But that you be found doing what you should do or supposed to do as a woman, to love, respect, and honor yourself. Other than that, don't expect nothing from us but disrespect.
Okay, so all right, wow. Okay, so but you know what, I get it. So
they always calling brother
Tyrone.
Yes.
If they want to follow more about ECCSC, where can they find you? Where can they look you up? Tell them where to subscribe. Tell them everything. You
go to my website.
Find his brother Tuesdays.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Me and his brother on Tuesdays.
Queen and I on Tuesday at the what's the name of our show?
Frontline Show. That's the Pop Radio,
iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium. You can find us every Tuesday at 7:00, and also go to my website ECCSC.org or go to my website TyroneMuhammad.com. That's TyroneMuhammad.com, and you should be able to get in touch with me with that, and of course, I'm on Facebook. So you can reach me there as well. And be patient. I'm very busy, and I'm just trying to serve everybody, which I think is possible. I never think it's impossible.
All right, you can also check out everything that the Windy City Review has going on and everything that WVOG has going on. Facebook pages, WVOG Media Chi, that's CHI, WVOG Media Chicago. You can hashtag us, just hit Google and hashtag us WVOG, hashtag WVOG or hashtag Queenie Green.
Shout out to Sour Patch Studios.
You will find us everywhere. This is the Windy City Review. Please like the page, and also for those, we do this show, we have fun with it, we poke at each other, but at the end of the day, if you have concerns, you have questions, you have things that you want touched, you have aldermen that you'd like to see talk to on the show, you have representatives, you have people that serve the community, or people that are called themselves serving the community, people that just are a part of our community, whether we like them or not. If you have those people you want to see in here and we want to get some answers for those people, hey, hit me up on my Instagram, hit me up on the Facebook, hit me in the inbox, send me those concerns, those questions, those names. We'll try to get those, we try to get everything touched, and we also
subscribe to my YouTube page.
Subscribe to the YouTube page.
Tyrone Muhammad YouTube page. Please subscribe, because that's where we'll be doing a lot of the broadcasting from. Live stuff that we're standing on and for our rights, whether it's in construction, whether it's in these schools, whether it's in these prisons and these communities. We want to really create a strong economic movement that allow us to serve ourselves, to do for ourselves, and stop expecting others to serve us.
Yes, at the best of our ability, we're going to put out the resources that will help you guys, whether it's clothing. I know there's some clothes. You got some things going on with clothes and food. I know Pop has some things going on where he's feeding the community. So we're going to definitely try to get the resources out to you and make sure that we just empower and uplift our community all the way around the board. Paul?
Well, unlike my two co-hosts here, I'm technologically impaired. I just got paulcollins.13a. I'm on Facebook, but y'all can find me. Just look for Queenie. I'm there in the shadow somewhere.
All right, Chicago, put those guns down, love each other a little bit more, and make sure you come back with us next Thursday for the Windy City Review, and make sure you're here with us at Pop Radio with Tyrone on Tuesdays from 7 to 8. Chicago, let's just make it a better place for all of us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, can we do that? Can we love each other a little bit more? Can we uplift? All right, I say, and that is it. That is a wrap. Make sure you check out everything we all have going on, and come back with us. We have some conversations. We have things that we're going to also talk about, things that whether you say I'm being nice or not, we talk about things that everybody's not going to talk about. So you guys make sure you come on back with us.
You do a great job.
That is a wrap. Chicago, we love you. Put the guns down. Check on your elders. Check on your children. It's cold outside. Well-being checks all around the city. Each one, teach one, find a child that you can mentor. Just find a way that you can extend yourself and help your people. We all need it sometimes. And on that note, we'll see you guys next week.
Let me see.
Thank you for coming in.
Queenie, Paul, man, thank you for your